Good morning, children. Today we are going to pursue with the chapter The Crisis of Democratic Order. Yesterday we have discussed that the emergency was declared on 26th June 1975, and after the emergency, all the consequences we have done, what happened during the emergency we have done. Now, it was a period that in 1977 the elections were declared again. In these elections of 1977, what happened? Now, this was a period when people were opposing the Congress, and especially Northern India. In Northern India, people were very much against the Congress. And what were the main issues for which the people were against the Congress? These were the issues of the demolition, these were the issues of the sterilization, these were the issues of the population control policy that was implemented by the Congress government, and so many issues were there for which the Northern India people totally rejected the views of the Congress, or they were not happy with during the emergency what happened. So in 1977 elections were declared again by the government. Then it was Janata Party came into power after the 1977 election. I have told you yesterday that the three leaders were in the race of the Prime Ministership. Those were the Mr. Morarji Desai, Mr. Charan Singh and Mr. Jagjeevan Ram. Mr. Morarji Desai was the total rival leader of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Mr. Charan Singh was the leader of the Congress, leader of the Bharatiya Lok Dal, and he was also the leader of the farmers of the Uttar Pradesh. Jagjeevan Ram was also opposing the policies of the Congress. That's why he was against this emergency, and that's why he formed his own party. And later on, he also went with Janata Party, Jagjeevan Ram. Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister after the 77 elections. But only less than 18 months he could rule as a Prime Minister. Then the government was, he lost the majority in the parliament. Then Mr. Charan Singh became the Prime Minister with the support of Congress. With the support of Congress, he became the Prime Minister. Then, when he became the Prime Minister, he became the Prime Minister with the support of Congress. But now Congress also taken back its support, and it was the less than 4 months was the tenure of second Prime Minister, Mr. Charan Singh. Now the elections were declared again. In fresh elections were declared in 1980. In these elections, Indira Gandhi came back to power and she won 353 seats out of 542 seats. Then she clear majority. She came in with the clear majority. Especially maximum seats came from the Northern India, where earlier the people were totally against the Congress during the emergency, but now they went with the Congress, and then the government was formed again of the Congress in 1980. Now the topic of today, it is the legacy. Legacy of the Congress we have been doing. Now from 1969 to 1977, it was the first time that any other party came into existence, came to rule over the country. After 97, first non-Congress government came, that is Janata Party, came to rule over the country after 1947, from where the country was independent. Then it was the only period when any other non-Congress government came into the power. So Congress party has, earlier what was the policy of the Congress? Congress was an umbrella under which all the people of all the ideologies can come to join this party, Congress party. But now it has become a socialist party, and it was for the pro-poor party. Now it was main thing was to welfare of the poor people, and it was to welfare for the poor people. So now the ideology was changed. Now Congress was not the party in which all the people of all the ideologies are been coming, but now the Congress was a party in which the people of the ideology, that was the socialist and the pro-poor policies were there. So this is in early 1970 that the Congress, maximum issues of the Congress party, now they were becoming changing. The party system was changing now. Now the party system was changing of the Congress. With the change in the nature of the Congress party, what happened? Now the other opposition party, what they want? They don't want to divide their votes. What they did here in 1977, all the opposition parties came as the Janata Party. And what they wanted? They wanted that no division of the votes should be there. So that's how they won the election. This was the main issue of the non-Congress party. At that time, the issue of the other backward classes also came into existence, and with the help of other backward classes, they could form the government, and maximum government was formed in the northern India. That time, this is the talk of the 1977 election, where this issue was very much there. After this, now when the Janata Party was ruling at the center, now what do you find out? The elections in 1977, they were won by the Janata Party. In 1980, the elections were held again. What happened? What do you get out of that? That the people didn't accept the wholesome government. The people punished the government that were having the wholesome nature. So they never accepted the government. That means political instability was there at the center. So they were not able to accept that type of government. So now, Janata Party was now coming into the opposition now. Now, Mandal Commission, meanwhile the Mandal Commission was also there. Under what was the Mandal Commission report for the other backward classes? You have read in class 9th this topic. What was the Mandal Commission report? According to Mandal Commission, that 27% of the people who were socially, educationally backward classes people, their seats were reserved for the jobs, for the admissions. But lot of agitations was there for this 27% reservation. Then Supreme Court took it over again and investigated again whether something wrong with it. So then they decided again that this benefit of 27% will not be given to the well-off people of the society. So then they decided the well-off people will not get the benefit of 27% of reservation. So this was, you can say, this was a period of the political crisis. What was this period of? This period was of the political crisis. Okay. So during this period, the party was under, when Indira Gandhi declared the emergency in 26 June 1975, Indira Gandhi was also absolute, she was having the absolute clear majority in the parliament. Still the emergency was declared. So what is that system? So it was the period of the political crisis when the emergency was declared in the country. Okay.